Meet the changemaker Jasmine Crockett shaking things up. This woman isn't just a politician, she's a force. From the National Council to the streets, she's fighting for justice, equality, and a brighter future for everyone. She's inspiring a new generation of leaders and showing us all what it means to make a real impact. Let's celebrate her.
There are those that would make some people believe that because I happen to be Black and or a woman, that somehow, even though I can rattle off all the qualifications in the world, my Blackness makes me unqualified. It did not seem as if my colleague understood that someone can be diverse and qualified. And it is why you have people like me that get very frustrated, not just in the halls of Congress, but in general in this country. Because as I'm sitting here and there seemed to be this question of you're either diverse or you're qualified, all I could think about was the fact that I currently hold an honorary doctorate. I also hold a Juris Doctorate. I also hold a bachelor's. I also technically hold the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the Civil Air Patrol, and I actually practiced law for almost 2 decades, in addition to serving on various boards, in addition to being a prior state lawmaker. And there are those that would make some people believe that because I happen to be Black and or a woman, that somehow, even though I can rattle off all the qualifications in the world, my Blackness makes me unqualified.
We are not going to sit around while you go ahead and desecrate our Constitution, or you look at the laws that have been passed into law and say, never mind, we'll just ignore that. Instead, we are going to be in your face, we are going to be on your asses, and we are going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like.
When people think that the most important people to vote for are on the federal level, I usually ask them, how many times have you met a president? How many times have you met a member of Congress? It is a lot more rare for you to actually be able to interact with one of us and explain directly to one of us what it is that you need. So who can best address your needs and know your story? It's those that are locally elected. And I remember when my predecessor called me and asked me about running for her seat. I thought, I don't know if I want to do this. One of my big fears was that I had such a great relationship with the people in my district. And I said, I don't know that anybody is ever going to be able to see me. I don't know if I'll get to hang out with my constituents because we do programs within the community. And so here it was, my constituency was 177,000 people. But I felt as if so many of my constituents were literally family. And I appreciated that closeness. And so I'm physically further away, and I'm further away more often. But I can tell you that I have to rely on my local elected officials to tell me what's going on. It's my city, my state, and my county elected officials that say, hey, Rep, we need money because XYZ is happening, from roads and bridges to education, to various nonprofits that need help. They are the ones, because they are there on the ground. And I will say that I get people's frustration when it comes down to it, because they say things like, well, Rep, I hear you, but like, you in power and you ain't fixed it. And I want to be clear, I'm one person. And the way that this works is that there's 435 of us on my side, and then there's another 100 on another side, and then you have the presidency. It takes us all working together to be able to effectuate real change in the way that we need to effectuate it. And so I don't necessarily believe that it comes down to, which party does what. It comes down to the individuals that you empower, regardless of their party affiliation. And so in order for you to have a successful community, you have to make sure that the local elected officials are people that will listen to you and will make sure that they communicate your needs all the way up to the halls of Congress.